This is our third lesson and we are sewing a plush kitten, and today we will make the nose. For this lesson you need your eyes and the head of a kitten ready, and I will put the links to all previous lessons in the description. If we attach our eyes to the round head as they are now, their gaze will be directed away from each other rather than straight ahead. We need a backing to ally the gaze forward, and I'm going to make it from oven bake clay so that the kitten we are doing will look straight ahead. I'm using the modeling clay oven bake Fimo. The link I will put in the description. Just take in a small piece and you will need to heat it with the help of your hands. With my finger I shape a flat pad, which I then slip onto the loop. Just like this I smooth the clay around the eyes outline, creating a base, a platform for future backing. By the way, this clay makes the glued loop even more secured, so it definitely won't come off when installing the eyes. And now I need to shape the backing like a small hump on one side of the eye. The side with the backing will be the outer side. So make sure to check the direction of your eyes design before adding the backing. Otherwise you will end up with it on the wrong side and will need to redo the step. I'm using a needle to shape a little groove and to make sure the loop stays open. Don't worry, it's a simple step, just keep the loop clear. This way, once the clay hardens, you will still be able to easily thread the string through it. A little bit of white showing on both sides of the eyes, okay? But only if you are using a white clay. So once again, the goal was to build backing, a little backing on the outer side of the eye. This way, when the eye is sewn into the round head, it won't roll along the curve of the sphere, and the gaze will stay directed straight ahead. Now let's move on to the nose. I'll be looking at the baby leopard picture as my prototype and trying to sculpt the nose in that exact shape. You should also keep your own kitten reference picture close and use it actively at every step. I'm sculpting with the same clay, and by the way, I never studied sculpting anywhere. I just grab the tools and bravely try. The tools I'm using are the ones I once bought by Amazon for making little fondant figures for kids' cakes. In the end, I bake my cakes without fondant, but for my little creatures, these tools turned out to be very useful. Here we have two options. First one, we bake the sculpted nose so it becomes nice and firm. You can even use the black clay not to have to color it later. And I want to show you how to make the soft silicone nose. As usual, I will put the link on all the products I'm using to the description. The important here is the pot life and cure time. The pot life means the time you have after mixing part A with part B. This 18 minutes. You have to add some coloring before it would start getting harder. And the cure time is the time you should no longer touch your silicone piece, so it can set properly. The clay details on my video are already baked and I'm preparing everything. So one more time, I'm taking my prototype Kitten to be sure I am doing everything right. And I'm taking the monster clay mass to form the mold for my future silicone detail. I'm using the medium softness. I like it because it's not very soft and not very hard. So I'm making it warm with the warmth of my hands and just placing the nose inside properly and then relieving it, moving it out. I carefully trim and smooth the edges of my nose from the inside. I will use the Smooth On Silk Pig color system for coloring my silicone parts. And the colors I'm going to use are blood, red one, and I also picked the flesh, but I will not use it in the end. I just need a small piece of silicone because my detail is not big. Keep in mind that the colors in the set are very intense, so you only need a tiny drop of pigment to tint the whole batch of silicone you have. As I worked, I noticed that my red turned out a bit too pink. So I decided to tone it down by adding some brown pigment. Once you are satisfied with the color, please take the part B of your silicone set. Yes, don't forget to shake it properly. The ratio of part B to part A is 1:1. In other words, the amounts should be equal. I'm taking my spoon, but I recommend to wait part A and then part B to be sure that you are really taking the equal quantity of each part. And then it is very important to pour the silicone into the mold in a thin stream. If you don't, air bubbles will form inside your piece and they will stay there once it hardens. See you in 3 hours. And here is the result. The nose here is already set, so hardened, but still it is very soft and feels real. That's why I'm preferring this variant to the plastic noses. and I need to find and to clear the place for the nose to glue it. I trim off all the hair completely, leaving only the fabric. Then I apply glue both to the fabric and to the little nose itself. And ta-da! The kitten now has a nose. This is the special silicone glue I used. And that's it. In the next lesson there won't be any materials list anymore, because we drive straight into exciting part. Setting the eyes. Subscribe not to miss it.